Section 4.9 Antiderivatives. Recall the goal of differentiation is to find the derivative f prime of the given function f. Anti-differentiation, which we're gonna cover in this section, is the reverse process. So we're gonna treat it as we are going to think backward. Definition for the antiderivative, a function capital F is an antiderivative of the lowercase f on an interval I, provided the derivative of the capital F equals the lowercase f function for all x in the interval I. The family of the antiderivatives theorem, let the capital F be any antiderivative of the lowercase f on an interval I, then all antiderivatives of the lowercase f function on an interval I have the form the capital F plus c, where c is the arbitrary constant. For example, the capital F of x is x squared, so the derivative of the capital F is 2x, which is the f of x. For the theorem, if you have another capital F of x, let's call it capital F of x, f subscript 1 is x squared minus 5. The derivative of the capital F1 prime is still 2x, which is still called the antiderivative of the function f of x. So we called x squared and x squared minus 5 are the antiderivative in the same function. Indefinite integrals. The notation for the indefinite integral consists of three parts. The first one is called the integral sign. The middle part is the function, which is called the integrand. And the last part is the differential dx. So the integral, integrand, and the differential x is called antiderivative of the function f with respect to x. Theorems. Power rule for indefinite integral. The integral of x to the power p with respect to x is x to the power p plus 1 divided by p plus 1 plus the arbitrary constant c, where p is not equal to negative 1. Constant multiple rule. Integral of the constant c multiplied by the function fx with respect to x is c multiplied by the integral of the fx with respect to x. Sum rule. The integral of the sum of the two functions with respect to x is the sum of the two integrals. For the set of the indefinite integrals of the trigonometric functions, as we use the concept of thinking backwards, the antiderivative of the cosine of the quantity ax with respect to x is 1 over a times sine of ax plus c. Or we can say the derivative of, let's treat this as the uppercase or the capital F function. So the derivative with respect to x of the uppercase f with respect to x, which is the derivative of 1 over a multiplied by sine of ax. Use the constant multiple and also the chain rule to get 1 over a times cosine of the ax, which return the cosine ax or the lowercase function f as the integrand. And the same concept apply to the rest of the formulas. As the integral of sine ax with respect to x is negative 1 over a cosine ax plus c, because the derivative of negative 1 over a times cosine ax is sine of ax. For the integral of the secant square of the ax is 1 over a multiplied by the tangent of the ax plus c. The integral of the cosecant square of the ax with respect to x is negative 1 over a multiplied by the cotangent of the ax plus c. The integral of the secant ax times tangent ax with respect to x is 1 over a multiplied by the secant ax plus c. And the last one, the integral of the cosecant ax multiplied by the cotangent ax with respect to x is negative 1 over a multiplied by the cosecant ax plus c. After indefinite integrals, the integral of e to the ax is 1 over a multiplied by e to the power ax with plus c. Or we can see this as the derivative of 1 over a multiplied by e to the ax is 1 over a multiplied by a times e to the ax, which returns e to the ax as the integrand. For the integral of the b to the power x dx, the antiderivative is 1 over natural log b multiplied by bx plus c, where b greater than 0 and not equal to 1. And the last formula, which is the integral of x to the power negative 1 with respect to x, and write it as the reciprocal of the x as the integral of 1 over x dx returns the antiderivative as the natural log absolute value of the x plus c. So the absolute value must be included because of the domain of the natural log. As you recall, the graph of the natural log only only on the positive side of the x. So x must be greater than 0. So this is the exception for the power rule, which is the integral of x to the power p with respect to x equals x to the p plus 1 divided by p plus 1 plus c. P is not negative 1. If p is negative 1, we have to use the other formula, which is the integral of 1 over x with respect to x equals natural log of absolute value x plus c.